Take 3. I'm still standing. The reprise of the reprise. Still standing. / where's my overtime? Anyways, so there's a song, a very famous song, by Sir Elton John that I'm sure most of you, if you're my friend, especially if you're one of my gay friends out there, existing for like my entire life. I've only now, at the age of 39 years old, have come to appreciate on a truly magical level, just given my, given my experience and such. So, with that having been said, one of the things I wanted to do was sing my own version of "I'm Still Standing," and I wanted to. Well, shit. I'll just. Why talk about it? Let's just fucking do it. So this is gonna be presented to you in this episode of Open Mic Live, coming at you live from The Ohio State University on this beautiful Wednesday morning, the 24th of December, 2025. Hope you guys enjoy, and if not, I'm probably gonna take this video down immediately. But no matter what, I promise you there will be a version of me doing this song that doesn't suck. You can never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. This is what a twink production assistant would be lovely. You can never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. And there's a cold lonely light that shines from you. You'll wind up like the wreck you hide behind that face you use. Did you think your fool could ever win? Look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing, better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, waking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could hope to win. You started down the road, leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down. And if our love was just a circus, you better clown by now. You know I'm still standing, better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we insert the saxophone break for this part. Man, while that fake saxophone is still going, however, I will say I'm proud to still be standing here. Even just on the third attempt of this fuck up here. So, we're just going to pretend for a moment together, Mr. Rogers style here, that the saxophone has just concluded, and we're back to the singing, we're back to my part singing. If somebody wants to put on a saxophone for me and insert that in there, I'll make sure it gets edited into whatever version of his bullshit makes it on air. Don't you know I'm still standing, better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa. And of course, in the real, Elton John manages to just make this song drag on endlessly because again, that bitch is still standing even now, and he's at least 40 years older than my ass. So props to Sir Elton John for for providing us that occasional reminder that, baby, if you are standing here today and watching my bullshit, you're blessed because a lot of my friends, a lot of people in my generation aren't standing. And if you're still standing out there and you're complaining because you're alone on Christmas or you're whatever, or you feel like you're the that nobody's out there for I guess if you're feeling down and feeling alone and feeling like nobody's there standing for you, remember that you're still able to stand up for yourself. And insert the RuPaul cliche about loving yourself before you love somebody else. And kind of to extend that whole notion, make sure to stand up for yourself. All right? Because we live in the world that we deserve, all right? And when we don't stand up, when injustice occurs around us in our world, then we basically accept it. And I'll just, allow me to invite you to sort of reflect on on this context. A famous quote from the Reverend Martin Luther King. That and I'm gonna fuck this up. I should have rehearsed this a little bit before I started busting out some MLK quotes here. But here we go. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And part of as an American, remember that you have the privilege of living in the freest, somehow the most prosperous and powerful nation on earth. Still, somehow, all right, for now. And while you reflect on that, remember that you are still standing in the greatest nation on earth, and that along with that privilege of waking up and standing up in this country comes the responsibility to reject the shit that you think is gonna burn this country down. All right, and I don't think I have to go very far to when I flip on the television to see an example of some of the people in our country that call themselves the leadership in this country trying their damnedest to make sure that some of us aren't standing the next day. All right. Now I don't want to get all melodramatic on you, here, because Lord knows I've done that enough times, to which, even to the point where I've maybe gotten in trouble a few times by the law, ironically enough, given the notion of living in the freest nation on earth, allegedly. But nonetheless, Merry Christmas, y'all. And, I don't think I need to tell you guys that Christmas is about celebrating joy, celebrating love. Celebrating Jesus too a little bit. Why not? Obviously if you believe in this stuff. But really, most importantly, it's about caring for each other. And yes, it's about Mariah Carey also, fine. I do love that Mariah Carey song still, somehow 30 years later. I don't know how in the world I don't know how I've made it this far without somehow hating that song. But here we are. And, shit. It's little things like that Mariah Carey song that convinced me there are still good things in this world that last. And, we have to be careful saying that, because those good things last only because we make it last. And along with God being love and God being good and all that jazz, and, happy birthday, Jesus, of course. We have to remember that this is the world that we deserve. And it's our responsibility, if we are going to call ourselves the good the good God-fearing Christians of Christmas here, to make sure that world is still around for our children and their children and so forth, and so on. Until it's our as I quote to quote one of my beloved band directors growing up in high school, in the Big Red Band, on his last year of serving as band director at my school. Don't let this die. So, with that having been said, it's up to us to not let this nation die, all right? Because y'all are seeing some alarming things out there, I can imagine, if you don't have your head up your ass, or if you somehow have the courage to turn on the news at 6 o'clock in the evening to see what dumpster fire is mesmerizing your friends on Facebook, today. Remember, as I always say, in response to that dumpster fire, remember that for every dumpster fire that makes the news, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, remember for that dumpster fire, there are 99 little joys occurring all around you, probably in your own neighborhood that you haven't even bothered to look around and notice yet, just amongst the ordinary people in our streets. You just remember that for every that is clumsy, I think it's going to become more and more important to remember that you cannot allow yourself to get sucked into this shit, because I hope we can all agree on, as Americans, not as Republicans, as Democrats, or as libtards, or as fascists, but truly I hope we can remember as Americans, as my fellow Americans, that, well, fuck it, now I forgot what I was going to say. I did just spoke up. How fucking ironic. Okay, remember, okay, shit. Yeah, just remember to be kind to each other. Remember that, it's not the dumpster fire that defines who we are as a country. It's the everyday joys that go unspoken, unacknowledged, and unrewarded. Those are the things that define who we are. All right, don't let the one fuck up either don't let either your fuck up or our fuck up fuck that up. All right, please. Remember that there's 99 other joys out there, and and that we have, in the context of our fuck ups and our own personal dumpster fires, remember that again, there are 99 more days ahead of you that you're not gonna fuck up. And that, and you have to keep your eyes on the full race, okay? I'm not a runner, nor am I going to pretend to be, but I'm pretty sure that the folks that train for marathons, that one of the biggest lessons of running the marathon and making it through the whole the 26th, and even if, even if I can dream of that 26th mile, if I can have the audacity to see myself crossing mile number 26, even as early as naively and as prematurely as thinking that dream, while I've exhausted myself after mile 1, after I snuck a Twinkie into my crotch, then you can too, and we have to keep our eyes on that prize. And as somebody who sucks at marathons, allow me to be the person to say this, that again, it's easy to get distracted by the exhaustion and the pain of the first mile. But that pain, I promise you, will be rewarded when you cross mile 26, because you're not going to remember that first mile, are you? You're going to remember mile number 26 when you notice around you that you're the only one standing. Maybe if you've drunken enough water at mile number 24, we'll say. But not, my whole point is, I'm still standing here somehow, and need I go through the awkward exercise of describing my last 3 years of my sabbatical on tour? Well, I'll just refer you to the past 30 videos or so on my Open Mic Live collection to get some context on what the fuck I'm talking about. So, I'm gonna leave you guys with another quote. I get this. By now I love my quotations, and I'm pretty sure my quotes are real and not just made up. So here's one to kind of reflect on as we sort of embark on seeing our loved ones and catching up with folks and kind of, doing all our end of year check-ins on each other. Remember this: to exist is political. That's all. To exist is political. So again, be grateful that you're still standing. I'm grateful that I'm still standing, and I hope I've done a good enough job of the Elton John song that you might be grateful that I'm still standing up here having finished that song without completely ruining it. So anyways, coming at you live from Columbus, Ohio, from in front of the Thompson Library of The Ohio State University. This is Mike George. Merry Christmas to you all, friends. Friends, families, enemies, lovers out there. And just let's be good to each other, because this is the time to do it, baby. Bust out that Mariah Carey CD, indulge a little bit, have some ice cream, have a cheat day for yourself. Just don't forget to sweep away the coal underneath the tree before the kids wake up tomorrow morning. All right. So Merry Christmas, y'all. Be good. Be kind and rewind. And enjoy, you guys. I love you guys.